Hi class. I wanted to make a quick video for you, well, kind of quick, for you, walking you through part of the lesson plan that you're going to create this week. So this week you'll create pretty much first half of the lesson plan, and then in week 4 you'll create the second half of the lesson plan, and then you'll put it all together in week 9. And I wanted to kind of walk you through a few things and show you a few Web 2.0 tools that I really like. Some of them I've used in the classroom. I believe one of them I haven't used yet, but I definitely would if I go back into the classroom. So I wanted to walk you through that and just talk a little bit. So first of all, here is the context, title and grade, length, relevant standards, learning outcomes, and resources. So this is the first half of your lesson plan. I also provided the template for you that you can click on, and I highlighted the ones that you will use for Milestone One. So if you want to use that template, feel free to. If you just want to list them like they are here, that is fine as well. So it's really up to you. And also, I know it can be really overwhelming, especially if you have not taught before, coming up with what you want to teach, because really you have all the freedom in the world on this lesson plan, which is really nice. So if you're not teaching yet, think about what subject you like the best, passion you have for a certain topic or for a certain grade level. The more passion you have when creating this, the easier it's going to come and flow. So now, if you already are teaching in the classroom, I encourage you to design a lesson that you'll be able to use in a Web 2.0 tool that you can use in the classroom. So really quick, I want to touch on the learning outcomes. And with this, you want to make sure that you're using the blooms. And here in the announcement that I posted, we have creating all the way down to the bottom, which is remembering. You want to make sure, I know like when I would create lesson plans, I would have anywhere from probably 2 to 3 learning outcomes. It's up to you. You can have more than 3, but make sure you have a variety level of blooms. So I just really encourage you to make sure, if you do have a remembering, make sure there's analyzing, and everyone should have a creating, especially if they're using a 2.0 tool that students are creating something. And now I'm going to move into the tools. The first one is a list. It's actually a website, not a tool, but it lists all the different tools. Now, this is what I really want to emphasize when you're, and also make sure you're researching beginning of the week, because it's going to take you longer to investigate the tool you want to use and research what you want to do. So here's an awesome website. Now, the one thing though too is a lot of tools on this website. You want a tool in your lesson plan that a Web 2.0 tool that students are going to create something. A lot of these you'll see are teacher driven, and you want to stay away from those because we really want you to be hands-on and create something that students will use and create. Sorry, I keep saying create, but I hope you get the point. So it's not something, I love WebQuest. I designed quite a few WebQuests when I taught, but that's teacher driven. Yes, the students were interacting with it, but they weren't creating anything. So I hope you understand. And I'm going to show you 3 tools here that students are actually creating something. So this site is actually really nice. It breaks down the tools by subject. And again, you're going to have to look through, sort through all the different tools, and kind of find one that is going to fit with your topic and context and title and what you want the students to do. So, but it just breaks down everything by subject, which is really nice. So this will be helpful if you're just kind of not sure where to start. You can kind of just start looking through this site. It should help you. So I'm going to exit out here because sometimes my Chromebook likes to shut down when I have too many tabs open. All right, so this site is the National Archives Experience, and I have not used this one personally, but I came across this recently, and I would definitely use this in the classroom if I could, if I was teaching right now. You can do a few things, and this is history based. So when you hit begin here, and hit real quick and go back, you'll see the different topics they have with history. So I'm going to go back here, but it's really neat. You can create a poster. You can do a timeline within your poster. So this is, something the students are creating. You can also do a movie here, which is really neat. And this is probably one of my favorite things. And I would probably say this is, late elementary to middle to even high school. But down here is create your own pathway challenge. I think this is really neat. The students could create these pathway challenges, and then they could share them with each other, and they could find the clues and solve the challenges. So I don't know, I think that one would be a really neat thing to do if you're on history based. So that is one of the websites. So I'm going to exit out. You can also search other topics here too, but those are the things that students can create. All right, this is probably one of my favorite ones. This is called Zimmer Twins, and you can do Zimmer Twins at school, so it's for educators. Now, there is a free, you can get the basic tools in here for free, but there's also a VIP, which you can do a little more with that, but you can still create movies, which is really neat. This I would say more elementary based. I think of the students I taught second and third, you can create stories. You could, and it depends on what you would want to do with it. You can even do like a poem. You could even have them create you can do a short story. You could do a long story. You could do a beginning of the story where they would have to give the movie then to someone else and then they would finish it. So really, you have a lot of kind of play with this. But I love this because I know when I taught, my kids had a really hard time sometimes with just getting their minds flowing and going when creating stories. And doing it digitally is just number one, much more intriguing for them. But here you have images that you can pick from and little bubbles you can put in. You can type right in there, hi, it's really neat. And then you can go to action verbs, things they do. And down here, you just build your movie and, you can go back and add speaking bubbles if you want to. And it's just really, really neat what you can do. And you can add sounds and things like that. So I really like this one. I think it's fun. And the students would be interactive, and then they could show each other movies too. And they could even work together in groups too. So that's another one. Almost done here. I have two more. This is an online chart. So I, of course, always think of math, but it doesn't have to be just for math. You can know if you teach an econ course or anything like that. You're doing there's scatter plots, bubbles, plots, the pyramid, pie graphs, a line plot, bar graph. So this is really neat. They can take their data and they can create their own chart. When I taught, I didn't use this exact one, but I used something similar that was more towards, I actually did it in kindergarten and I used one in second grade, but it was more based, the kids could create their own chart, but it was more visual, had a lot of pictures. They would tally up whatever objects they wanted to choose and they could make their own graph in that way. So that was really neat to just make that math lesson come alive. All right, almost done here. All right, the last site I wanted to show you and talk real quick about something I did when I taught. I had the cameras, the digital cameras, but they had, I want to say it was like 3 to 4 minutes you could record a video on. Well, I had two older ones. One was my husband's and one was mine, but he donated his to my classroom. And then I also just asked around some relatives, and I had some friends of friends, and I ended up having 5 digital cameras in my classroom, and this was for second grade. And of course they loved it. And I really think if you, bring in technology like like that. And this was back in, I think, like 2007, maybe 2008. The students really take care of it. They feel privileged that, you brought in these things for them to use. But real quick, I know I'm taking a little tangent. If you really want this technology in your classroom, yes, sometimes you have to go through the bigger stuff through grants and stuff. But a lot of it, I know with me, when I taught, it was just going, asking friends, asking family members, going to a few businesses. I knew some people that owned a few businesses that donated some supplies too. So, sorry, that's my little public service announcement about technology tools. But anyways, so my kids, we did a movie maker. So what we did, and you can do a whole bunch. This was a unit, but I mean, of course, for this, you're just doing a lesson. But my kids, we did a digital newspaper. But what we did is I integrated history. We did history and writing kind of combined here. And each group had the digital camera. They had pictures. They interviewed people around the school. And each group had a section of the newspaper that we created online. But we had links, so you could link in the movie. But they could create their own little movie with Movie Maker. But this is a great site. This doesn't show you how Movie Maker works, but you can download it it was already on our computers at school. But the nice thing is it just gives you some ideas to do with Movie Maker. Now it also gives ideas with Flip Video. I didn't have a Flip Video camera, but it was very similar to a Flip Video camera because it was able to video a couple minutes, which is all the kids needed. But you can do interviews, public service announcements. I did that once too. That was really fun. So it gives you kind of some ideas here. So I hope this helps. Just kind of walk you through it. Please let me know if you have any questions. I know it can be overwhelming at first. It's nice that the project is broken up into two sections. So you're kind of doing the first half. I'll give you feedback, and then the second half. So I hope this helped. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.